So let's go to court yesterday. The hearing for that temporary restraining order. Hudson Swafford, Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones filing that order or hoping to get it passed so they could play this week in the FedEx Cup playoffs. The judge ruling yesterday against that temporary restraining order. What was your reaction to what we saw yesterday in court?
So I guess surprised on the one hand, but once you really read the judge's comments here, I think you kind of understood where she was going. A couple of weeks back, we did have a similar application made with respect to the DP Tour with 3 players looking to play in a Scottish event, 3 LIV players. Ian Poulter was the headline over there, and they actually won their case, and they were allowed to play in a European Tour event. So I don't know, right? It's obviously a separate court, separate country, the United Kingdom. So, that's our only real precedent on the books, and you can rest assured, right, that was a pivotal argument here. But then again, right, the question with respect to this TRO, you have to ask, right, the judge has to ask, is there a likelihood of success on the merits for the overall case? What these 3 golfers were asking, they're saying, hey, we have a likelihood of winning at the case, that antitrust case at the end of the day. So we would like you to let us play, right, while the legal issues are hammered out. And that's a conversation, Ben, you and I had last week. Tom Brady made the same argument with the Deflategate saga. He didn't end up winning the case, but the judge thought there was some chance of success on the merits. So they let him play out the entirety of that season. So that's what we're looking at here. At the end of the day, though, right, these LIV golfers are getting these giant paychecks, right? Cam Smith just got a reported $100 million to join the LIV Tour. So the question is, are these golfers really losing money by jumping to the LIV Tour? And that's the question I think the judge had a lot of difficulty with. And I think that's the real reason that they lost their case. If you're getting $100 million, more money than most of these golfers will ever make on the PGA Tour, how are you claiming that you're losing money?
So, Dan, yesterday, as you mentioned, was just one step in this process, one step in the lawsuit. But how big of a win was it for the PGA Tour?
It's a big win. I don't want to undersell this, right? If the standard is likelihood of success on the merits, sure, the judge was only really looking at 3 golfers, yes, headlined by Taylor Gooch. But with all respect to all 11 golfers, including Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau, that's got to be a little dangerous, especially the judge's comments, right? That some of these LIV contracts are more restrictive contracts than what the PGA Tour has, right? And that the judge even joked at one point that maybe at some point, because of all these defections to the LIV Tour, maybe at some point we'll be in court with the PGA Tour suing the LIV Tour. So at the end of the day, right, I mentioned this is a case about, right, like monopoly power and independent contractors. But at the heart of an antitrust case is really how much control this one entity, the PGA Tour, can exert. And if you keep seeing big golfers move over, right, week after week, we have another big name. Cam Smith, right, just won the British Open. Yep. That is not a small name by any means. And it looks like LIV, right, unlike really any incumbent that I know in sports history, be it the ABA or the WHA, the USFL, they are stealing the mega powers of the incumbent sport. So this this new guy on the block, LIV Tour, has somehow found a way to compete very quickly. So it's pretty tough to paint the PGA as this monopoly if LIV Tour has more money than them. So I think it's if you're rooting for the LIV golfers here, I don't know how many fans they do have, but this is a very big loss. I don't want to undersell it.